Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mongoli Show. Start of May, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the best teams that you should be working on right now for the events that we know are coming up. Let's get into it. All right, let's get the really obvious one out of the way. Peni Parker event starts later today. That's how we're going to be unlocking that character, and with her, we will have the 5-piece Spider Society ready to go. If you're even looking at Incursion at this point, or even better yet, if you're already doing Incursion 2.3, this is going to be your best bet to make it through those skill nodes at the very end, so you're definitely going to want to build this team up. Now, I'm not convinced my team is even built as high as they are going to need to go. I probably need to get them all up to level 100, but I'm saving some resources so I can at very least get Peni Parker all the way up to 95, and then I'll work on building them up even higher after that. All right, let's get the super obvious choice out of the way. With Peni Parker's event coming out later today, the Spider Society team is going to be finished, and you're going to be able to take them all up so you can do those skill nodes of Incursion 2.3 or whatever Incursion level you're at. This is going to be a very decent skill team. They're actually really good in Cosmic Crucible room number 2 right now, and I've heard rumors about them being good in room number 5, although I haven't seen that personally for myself yet. That was redundant, but whatever. If we actually take a look at these characters, you can see that I don't have them all at level 100 yet, and it's because I'm saving resources so I can get her up to level 95. Once I get her to 95, then I will slowly start building them up. It sounds like she is going to be the linchpin of this team, so I'm probably going to try and take her to level 100 first, and then we'll go from there for the other characters. If we jump into their actual kits, you can see that I've got her as a raider, and I've got her fully maxed out. That is completely unnecessary. You do want her passive. Beyond that, it's all kind of luxury. I feel like I probably leveled her up to the moon back when she was part of the Web Warriors. I'm not recommending that you necessarily need all of those things on her. Now, if we jump over to Spider-Man Noir, you can see I also have him as a raider. I have him at 17. I'm going to be taking him up to 18 probably as soon as I can find the last little piece of his unique, that ballistic weave. Now you can see I've got his passive and his ultimate both maxed out. I don't think his ultimate is necessary. I would probably take that back if I could, but his passive is actually pretty nice to have. You do want that. Peni Parker, I've got as a skirmisher. I've got his passive already done up all the way, and if I was going to do another one, I'd probably do his basic because it does apply multiple regenerations and evades to just try and keep your team alive, which is really nice. I don't think his special or his ultimate are terribly necessary. We'll see if Gear Tier 18 was necessary or not, but I feel like for a skill team, I definitely want them as high as I can get them. Spider-Man Pavitra is another one where I took their passive all the way, and that's the only one that I'm really doing at the moment. He is a striker. He's going to be getting lots of hits on using the Skirmisher and the Raider's vulnerabilities to best effect. And then when we jump over to Peni Parker, obviously we don't have her built yet. We don't have her bought yet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking both of her ultimate and her passives to maximum. But honestly, like, I think those two are completely necessary. The other two are very nice to have. If you can afford to do T4s for all 4 of hers, I think you're going to be pretty happy with that. But definitely start at passive and then work your way sort of like up that list. So like passive, ultimate, special, basic in that order. But I think you're going to be happy you have all of them on her. I think she's probably the linchpin of the team. Really, really solid choice. Next, we're going to take a look at the Bifrost team. Not because I think that you should build them, but because I think you should actually stop building them. Depending on where you're at with Cars and Crucible, if you're at the point where they're just about usable, fine, keep going, get them right to the point where they're usable. If you are just starting off, this is not a great team to build. I'd probably build Loki and Val and leave the other 3 alone. We don't have any word on this team getting replaced, but this is how it goes. This is the oldest of the raid teams, so we know that the next time they bring out a raid team, probably 3 to 5 months from now, they're going to replace this team. Now, if you're in an alliance that is very, very competitive and you need this team to be amazing for those next 3 to 5 months, go for it. But if you are a newer player and you are looking to get into raids, don't build the oldest raid team, build the newest raid team. What you're going to be doing is building Spider Society or Extreme X-Men or honestly even Hive Mind. You're going to find multiple uses in multiple game modes for this characters. Yes, this team is still seen in room number 2, but I think in Cosmic Crucible that is, but I think you're going to see that a whole lot less with Spider Society getting better. So if this team is new, if you're new to this team, don't bother with it. If it's almost done, complete it, I guess. But realistically, if you can get by doing whatever raid your alliance is doing with them where they're at, don't touch them. All right, we know that the Old Man Logan trials are coming out later this month. They say May 24th is the expected date. We'll see whether they actually hit that or not. I know there's a whole lot of feelings about that event going on, but like, we know that that's something we're gonna need. We know that Old Man Logan is gonna be absolutely insane. So let's take a look at what we need to build them. First up is the Out of Time team. Now, 2 of these characters are reworks, so hopefully you've already got them fairly well built if you've been playing for a while. Mine are both gear tier 18, level 95. I took them to Dark Dimension 6. They did okay for me there. I definitely don't recommend them, but it's nice that they're already built. I think this is as high as they're going though. Black Knight, a truly amazing character. You want to have him as high as you can possibly get him. He is good, I think, literally everywhere. So there's nothing you won't feel bad at all leveling this character up. I've got him at gear tier 18. I think I've got him fully maxed out that I can, other than obviously these are to get him to gear tier 19. I haven't spent those yet just because I can only do one of them. I probably will very shortly though. He's probably one of the main characters I'm going to take up first. He is a top 3 character in the game without a doubt. Like I guess, okay, that's not fair. Mephisto, I guess, technically is there, but so few people have him that it doesn't matter. This guy's top 3. Starbrand and Cosmic Ghost Rider are unfortunate. They are new characters. You do need to build them up. They're not characters you're going to be terribly excited with. They're both pretty mediocre, but because they are required for the Old Man Logan team, and Old Man Logan looks like he's going to be a game changer in this game, you will need to build these characters up. Now, obviously, I haven't taken them up as high as I need to. I don't really know how high I need to bring them up because so far as looking at that list, I potentially only need them for 1 node. Like if we're looking at that, we're going to need Out of Time for node, I think it's 2. We're gonna need Cabal, Emma, Loki for node number 6, and we're gonna need a mix of both of those for node number 10. Now, assuming we don't need to sack node 10, we can let some of these characters die here or there and still be totally fine. Like we bring in all 3 Cabal members with Black Knight and either Peggy or Captain America, I think you're gonna be doing just fine. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at the kits. All right, now Cosmic Ghost Rider I have as a striker. I don't know what I was thinking that I don't have any red stars on him. That's very unusual for me. I must have completely blanked when he was in the gift shop or something, because I usually have at least 4, if not 7 red stars on new characters. I have no explanation why I have no stars on him. That's my bad. If we look at his actual abilities, you can see that it looks like his passive is very highly rated, as well as his ultimate is pretty good to have. His basics and his special you can pretty much skip. That's totally fine. Starbrand we have as a raider, and if we take a look at his abilities, it looks like the community at large is basically saying his passive is kind of nice, as is his ultimate, but realistically, if you want to save your T4s, this is a great character to do it. Other than the Old Man Logan event and maybe having this team on ward defense, you're not going to be using Starbrand really anywhere, so I'm going to just recommend just skipping his T4s entirely. Black Knight's a fortifier. You want him to stay alive, and quite frankly, I've got him maxed out. Everything is as high as it can get. ISO T2 level 5 is completely maxed out. All of his abilities completely maxed out. I've started already building him towards gear tier 19. He's probably gonna be my first character to get there. I could buy one of these, but unfortunately I have enough for one of them, so I haven't done that just yet. And we're still quite a ways away on getting his ultimate, but I don't know. I think this guy is god tier, and you should build him as high as you possibly can. Peggy is the healer of the team. She's going to be bringing your team back. She can heal up your team as well as revive them. I've got everything maxed out from back when she was A, going to DD6, and B, a relevant raid character. So she's already pretty well built, and you're going to want to build her up nicely for this. However, if you actually take a look at it, you can see that her number 1 passive, like everything in her kit is kind of nice to have, but her passive is the one you really, really want. So make sure you do spend on that. Captain America, we've got at level 95, gear tier 18. I have him as a fortifier because he's going to be sharing tanking duties with Black Knight, so you definitely want to keep him alive for as long as possible. As far as his T4s go, you'll notice that I actually went against the trend a little bit here. If we take a look, you can see that his number 1 is his passive, but his basic and his special they highly recommend. I actually went with his ultimate over his basic, and I don't feel bad about that because his ultimate is going to give, where is it? An additional 30% speed up to him, so you definitely want to keep him going faster than possible because you want to be doing this as much as possible. You want to be getting that taunt as well as clearing all the negative effects and just making sure that everybody has eyes on him instead of Black Knight or the rest of your team. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but that's the way I built him and he's working out just fine for me. You can decide for yourself if that's the way you want to go. Overall, this is a team you're going to need to build if you want to get Old Man Logan, and they're going to be pretty decent. You're going to find homes for Black Knight basically everywhere. Captain and Peggy are falling off. If you don't already have them built because of the previous raids, I wouldn't say take them as high as I have taken them. I don't think that's entirely necessary, but they are going to be a good war offense and defense team, so you can use them in there. Like, they do have a home. You're just not terribly excited about them, but you need them for Old Man Logan, so you might as well build them up, and now's the time. As far as the Old Man Logan event goes, we also know that we need the Cabal team. Now, I am personally completely over the Scopely lied to us argument about this team. Let's just move on. We know we need them for now. Cosmic Crucible is my favorite way to play this game. So as soon as they released a theory crafting team for Cosmic Crucible, I was all in. You can see I've got them all to level 100. They are all gear tier 18. I'm putting stars on them as quickly as I can. This is a bananas team for Cosmic Crucible. And if you enjoy Cosmic Crucible, you probably would have built them up anyways. So the fact that they're now required for Old Man Logan is almost kind of a bonus for me as opposed to a negative. Now, if we take a look at the Namor, you can see I've got 2 diamonds on him. I spent those personally because I was just like, this character is a tank. I absolutely want him as high as I can possibly get him. He's gear tier 18. I maxed out everything, all the T2SOs. Like, this guy's insane. I have him set as a raider. If we take a look at his actual T4s, you can see that they recommend 1 and 2, but even then, not very highly. I don't know. I think this guy is just absolute beast mode in Cosmic Crucible. So I built him really highly for that. And he's going to pay me off in the Old Man Logan run as well. But honestly, just like the amount of damage this guy can produce in Cosmic Crucible is insane. And he does really well in war as well. Not as well, but still pretty strong. If we take a look at the leader, you can see I maxed him out. You're going to see a trend here. Like, this is a very strong team. I did all I could with them. His ISOs aren't maxed out yet. His stars aren't maxed out yet. I have him as a striker. You can see that for his ISOs, they highly recommend the passive. I agree. The ultimate and the special, they're kind of on board with, and the basic, they're pretty cold on. I don't know. I just think if you're big into Cosmic Crucible like I am, you're going to want to take this team as high as you can. But worst case scenario, definitely do the passive. It's definitely worth it. Brian Patriot, I also have him as a striker. I don't have him built up for the ISOs as high as I could yet. Stars, again, we're working on it. But I think this is another really good character. This team is really just insane if you like Cosmic Crucible. They do okay in war, as I mentioned. If we take a look at Jarvis, you can see that they recommend his passive first with his special second. The ultimate is the only one I haven't bought for this character. In fact, it's the only one I haven't bought for the entire team. I don't really see the value in it personally, but I'm sure it'll happen for me at some point because this team is just insane. The passive is really, really nice to have, but quite frankly, the special clearing all negative effects is also really good. I'm a little surprised this is as low as it is. I would have thought more of the community would have bought this, but maybe the community is just not building this character as happily as I am. I don't know, but I would say passive and special are both very important. Now, when we talked about Bifrost before, we did mention Loki as one of the 2 characters that I would build up. There's a few reasons for this. One, his time manipulation is really actually quite nice, and you will see this character pop up certain places, Cosmic Crucible, War, stuff like that, not on the Bifrost team. He's also an Asgardian. He's part of the Bifrost team. Like, you're probably going to see a rework for this character somewhere down the line. Not anytime soon, I wouldn't think, but at some point, I think Loki's a big enough character. You will see him pop up on another team, and he'll be useful on that team as well. But for right now, we know we need him for the Old Man Logan strategy, so make sure he is fairly built up. I don't know that you need to have him at level 100, gear tier 17. I'm probably going to take him to gear tier 18 when I can. I don't know if that's entirely necessary because his raid team is going away, but that's what I'm building him up for. Again, you only really 100% need him for 1 node for Old Man Logan, so worst case scenario, if he dies, if Emma dies, but the Cabal team is strong enough to carry you through the rest of that node, you should be okay. The one caveat to that, of course, is if you actually need a sack team for road number 10, then you'll actually need to build up your Emma and Loki strong enough to survive node number 6. But let's wait till the node starts. Let's wait till the game mode starts, and we can actually tell if that's necessary before we waste our resources. As far as his specials and such go, it's looking like his passive is absolutely necessary, but everything is kind of nice to have. There's no reds here. You can see that I haven't personally spent everything that I needed to. I did just do this today, the mind control. I think that's kind of nice. The passive is really good. I don't think you absolutely need the Eldritch Bolt or the mirror image, but that's just me. We have him as a skirmisher. And Emma Frost is the last character that we know we need for Old Man Logan. You can see that I don't have her built up very highly. I've got her to level 68. This is as high as I need her to have to do the things that I need to do with her. I've only got 1 thing maxed out. She's not even a high enough level to have blues on her, and I've never been disappointed with her. Now, I could take her higher for Cosmic Crucible so that I don't lose efficiency points by having her die. That's a possibility, but I just don't know that I care enough about this character. For Old Man Logan, again, unless we need the sack team, she's totally fine to die in node number 6, and I'll just keep going with my Cabal team. That's my plan. I'm going to have the resources to build her so that if that plan doesn't work, I can level her up and be good to go, but I'm not wasting those resources if I don't absolutely need to on this character. I'm not excited about her. I don't need her at high levels. I don't want her at high levels. She's fine where she is. Now, for the diamond form, I did take that up to level 7. In fact, I took that up today because it does clear all negative effects, and this is an ability you actually can use usually before she dies in Cosmic Crucible. So I think that actually will be a pretty decent one to have. Other than that, I'm not really excited about her other things. You can see that they say her ultimate is good. At the level I've got her, she doesn't make it to her ultimate, so I didn't bother with that one. And then her special is second, so that's decent. If you take this character up all the way to level 100, yes, buy her ultimate. That'd be fantastic if she can survive long enough for it. But at the level that I'm at and the level that I recommend currently, I don't think you want to do that. All right, those are the teams that you absolutely have to build for Old Man Logan, as well as the raids. Let's get into some more passion-y project things. This is what I'm personally looking to build. You can see my Masters of Evil. I'm not talking about the entire team. It's just the fastest way to get them on screen. If your Kang is not the highest you can possibly have him, what are you doing with your life? Build up Kang. He's still really, really good. I know he's not as amazing as when he first came out, but he's still so good and useful basically everywhere. Personally, I use Kang and Titania with my Cabal team in Cosmic Crucible, and they do hard work for me. So while Kang is already at level 100, maxed out on his ISOs, gear tier 18, everything maxed out, he's pretty much done. I don't need to do more work on him. I would recommend building him up. You can see that his #1, his passive, is absolutely game changer. This is the first green, absolutely everybody should have it, that we've seen all day today. Everything here, though, is highly recommended. Look at that. Everything is yellow or whatever that color is. So you do probably want to build everything on this character. Now, the reason we're actually taking a look at the Masters of Evil and not just Kang, though, is for Titania. That's the other part that I use with the Cabal. I think she is really, really strong, and I'm going to be building her up even higher once my Spider Society is where I want them to be. That's priority 1. This might be priority 2, and Old Man Logan might be priority 3. We'll see. As far as our T4s go, yes, the passive is the #1 one. Highly recommending that. Everything else is okay, but not necessary. And you can see that's exactly what we've built here as well. Passive is done. Everything else we're working on. I think she is a great addition to the Cabal team and highly worth building. As far as the rest of the Masters of Evil, Moonstone and Absorbing Man are both fine if you want to build them up. I don't think Ultron is very useful pretty much anywhere at the moment, so I'm not going to build him any higher than he already is, but I'm going to probably build Titania, then the Old Man Logan team, and then we'll take a look at it. It's worth coming back from Moonstone and Absorbing Man. I'm probably, though, going to be using them with Cabal, and the rest of the team isn't going to be seeing much play. And lastly, this one might be a little bit controversial. I still really like the new Warriors team. I've been talking with some content creators. They're saying they're falling off a cliff. So if you think this is a bad recommendation, so be it. You don't have to build this team. Keep in mind, Deathpool did just get a minor rework to make her a little bit better so that she can also work on the Mercs for Money team. So she's definitely worth building. I think Firestar and Gwenpool are also really, really strong. Dagger and Cloak are probably the weaker members of the team. You're probably okay to leave them alone or not build them as high. But this is still such an incredible team in Cosmic Crucible, and we've got the war buff currently for them in War. Redundant. So I think this is a team that you do want to spend some resources on. They're not a high priority team whatsoever. This is a luxury team to be sure, but I still find a really good home for them in Cosmic Crucible. They've been doing work for me. This is something I'm going to be keeping on the back burner that I'm going to be working on slowly over time. All right, now you'll notice I didn't mention the plug and play characters like Apocalypse, Super Skrull, Mephisto. That's probably going to be a totally different list. And honestly, you probably don't even need to be told to build those characters, because if you're playing this game and you've got those characters unlocked and you're not building them as high as they are, just delete the game and move on with your life. This is clearly not for you. All right, and remember, Commanders, if you made it this far, please consider hitting that like button. If you made it this far in the video, you probably did enjoy it. Let me know by hitting that like. Leave a comment down below for engagement, and if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. We also go live over at twitch.tv/TheMongoolie Show 3 times a week, usually Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We will not be live tonight, though I am busy, but generally those are the 3 nights we go live. So head over there, hit that follow button so you never miss any content. You can have questions with me, conversations live on the air. It's always a lot of fun. Other than that, Commanders, you have a great day, and until next time, good luck to you.